Okay, after we have done our critique, make sure that you make any edits that you need to for your project. So for example, like this one might not be completely clear. I think it does a good job showing that we have water going through a cycle. But maybe I need to add some text through here that says keep our water clean. So if you get some feedback, that kind of helps. So look through the feedback that you were given and decide what will best help make your topic more clear and strengthen your design, and find a way to make those edits. So maybe it's that I need less waves, so I could erase these waves out. So think about, if you have received any feedback, how you can make those alterations. Once you have made those alterations, it's also important that you take time to color in your selected design. What are you going to scratch out and what are you going to leave the black of the CD? And so one of the ways you can do this, I personally find it easier to color in the areas that I plan to scratch out, which I know is opposite. So like when we go in and we start to scratch areas, those would actually be our lighter areas, but it's hard to color in everything around an area, and the coloring process is similar to the scratching process. So again, I tend to color in the areas that I plan to have the lightest. So if you have some extra time, I would take some time and work on kind of planning out, okay, now if I do choose one of these designs, or in this one, like what would I scratch out? Would I scratch out, I think here I'd probably scratch out the hand, because I think it might be a little bit harder to show the cup. So I could scratch out the hand and then just do the lines of the cup. Right, and then I could scratch out the water droplets because I want my focus on the water. But like over here, it would be really hard to scratch out all the water area. I could do it, so that's something I might want to consider. Or do I want to scratch out my lines, maybe scratch out this part of the water, scratch out the stuff in the water? So it's important to think about it and really know what we want to scratch before we start scratching. So I would take some time to go through and think about, okay, which areas am I going to scratch out? And in those areas, I am going to color it in to kind of show those are the areas that I'm going to spend my time scratching, right? So like here, this would be another area I would need to scratch. And it doesn't have to be colored in 100% perfect, but you need to be able to see a plan, because if we don't plan it out, we might end up with two wave areas merging together, and then we lose the curve of our wave, right? So once you have it to this point, then we are ready to transfer it to our final CD.